is where their rights are at stake. Some of the biggest business cases. So, insurance cases. We only take cases that affect the legal system in Illinois. We don't take every case.
Yes.
There are a number of cases that the litigants ask us to take. We only take anywhere from 5 to 8% of those cases. And they're the most important cases, facing the court system.
Our case regarding the mandatory masks ended up in Supreme Court. Do you remember what was the outcome, what the Supreme Court wrote about that? I'm talking about the case from Tom DeVore.
Yeah, that has not come up yet. What happened was Tom DeVore and the people who were suing asked for what was called a temporary restraining order. That was denied, and then that was appealed up to this, and we did not take that at the time. It takes 4 justices out of 7 to agree to take a case, and there weren't enough justices who agreed to take the case. But the case itself is still working its way up through the system. So that case should get to us at some point in time.
And we were also told that when there is no emergency, there's no need for that case to go up. Is that true, to get to the Supreme Court?
Well, no, that case is still a case in controversy, and my anticipation is that it will still get there.
Okay, it will still get her. Okay, let's see how it's gonna end. Sure. Tell me, what do you like most about your profession right now as a Supreme Court justice?
I really enjoy the administration and really having a say in how the court system in Illinois runs. You've probably heard about the Safety Act now that's coming out. No cash bail starts January 1st. Now there is a challenge to that. It's in Kankakee County, and that may come up to the Supreme Court. So I can't talk about my personal beliefs about that, but I will say that that's an example of something that we're working on in the court to make sure that we put this Safety Act in place, if in fact on January 1st it goes in place, and we do it with a priority to public safety. And that's been my priority my entire career. I've been basically doing this for almost 40 years.
40 years of experience.
Yes.
So the Safety Act, it's working its way up there. Do you have to read all the 700 pages of that Safety Act?
Yes. Yes.
And you have to find different laws that apply to the Safety Act and see if it's agreed with Constitution or not, correct?
Right. We're guided by the arguments that the attorneys make who are attacking it. They'll make certain. Right now, there are basically 4 basic arguments, without getting too technical, about how it's being attacked as unconstitutional. So, we have to read everything that they give us. We have to read the act. That's the thing about sitting on a reviewing court and on the Supreme Court. A lot of reading.
A lot of reading.
Yes.
And then finding the laws and applying the laws and following the law. Okay, we will see what will happen. We don't know.
Right.
I will just tell you that many people are scared because one side says Safety Act is perfect and it's okay, everything gonna be okay, and another side says that it's gonna affect our safety.
Right.
And we don't know what to expect. But I'm glad that it's finding its way to the Supreme Court. Right. Can you tell me why should we vote for you?
Well, I've been, I've been in this business, the legal profession, for almost 40 years. I've been on the bench for over 30. I've served at every level of the judiciary. I've been a trial court judge for 16 years. I was an appellate court justice for 12 years, and now I've been on the Supreme Court for the last 2.5 years. Before I began my career as a judge, I was a prosecutor, prosecuting some of the biggest cases in DuPage County at the time. I worked my way up through that office to become the chief of the Special Prosecutions Division. So I have a background in public safety, work very well with law enforcement. I'm endorsed by the Illinois Fraternal Order of Police, and I'm very proud of that endorsement. So I'm the most qualified and the most experienced person, and I've been doing the job for the last 2.5 years. And this is a time of great change with the Safety Act and many other things that are happening in the court. And it's a time for people, people to be on the court who know what they're doing.
Okay. Tell me, how many Supreme Court judges do we have right now?
We have 7.
7, and it always have to be 7?
Yes. That's under the Constitution.
And tell me, do we have another race for Supreme Court for Republican judge?
We do. There are 2 open seats right now. I'm running in the new 3rd district, and I think Justice Brennan went through the counties.
Yes,
that are
the
involved
counties.
in that.
Yes, he told us about that.
And then there's another seat open in the new 2nd district, and that's in Lake, McHenry, Kane, DeKalb, and Kendall counties.
And who is a Republican candidate in that?
Mark Curran, who was the former Lake County Sheriff, is the Republican candidate up there.
How many Republican judges do we have on Supreme Court right now?
Well, right now, as it stands, there are 4 Democrats and 3 Republicans. So if Mark Curran were to win and I were to win, that would make it 4 Republicans and 3 Democrats.
Is it important to have Republican or Democratic judges in the Supreme Court, or no?
You know, realistically, what we do is follow the law and follow the Constitution. It shouldn't matter.
Shouldn't matter.
But I will say this: you know, some people who come on with it more of a conservative viewpoint look at things a little bit differently than people who come on with a liberal viewpoint. But ultimately, at the end of the day, we should be following the Constitution and the law. And not interposing our personal opinions onto the cases.
So we have federal, like United States Constitution, then also we have state constitutions, right?
Correct.
But they are almost the same, or they don't agree on certain things?
No, they really are mostly the same.
Mostly the same.
Yes, few minor differences, but you know, what we do in Illinois is we can apply the Illinois Constitution more strictly for people's rights, as opposed to the federal Constitution. We can't give less rights than the federal Constitution, but we can give more rights to people under the Illinois Constitution.
Can I ask you how the case can end up in federal Supreme Court? Because it has to go through regular courts, appeal courts, Supreme Court in Illinois. How it goes up to federal Supreme Court?
Yeah, there are 2 separate systems that are operating in the United States. There's the state system, and then there's the federal system. So both systems have trial courts, both systems have appellate courts, and then both systems have Supreme Courts. So really, it depends on where the case is filed.
Okay. I did not know that. Simon, did you know about that? I had no idea.
Now I know. Yeah.
Now you know. And you know, again, you are also in my district. I'm gonna vote for you, and I hope that all Polish people who live in Will County and other counties will vote for you. Your birthday is coming.
It is coming up.
Okay, it is coming. Are you happy about that?
I am, but I've been campaigning like crazy, so I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be able to celebrate.
Oh, you don't know if you're going to be able to celebrate. Yeah, it's coming October 28th, so 1 week before the election.
Yes.
Would you like to say something to people who are listening to us right now?
Sure. What I just want to focus on is the experience factor. We really need to elect people to the highest court in the state of Illinois that have experience, and judicial experience, judicial leadership, judicial independence. I'm not beholden to anyone. I don't take big donations from people. My opponent takes huge donations from special interest groups.
Which should be forbidden, actually, for judges.
I think personally that we should not run in partisan races. I think we should run in, basically as independents.
So you should not be able to state that you are Republican or Democratic. It's not supposed Democrat.
Right.
You're not supposed to say who you are, because then we should look at your experience, and judges have to follow the law. So why you have to specify if you're a Republican or Democrat?
And I also think we need to take the money out of these races.
All races, or
just judicial races?
Yeah.
Judicial races.
Yeah.
Because the only thing we have is the public trust. If the public doesn't trust the judiciary, we have nothing.
Yeah.
And so we need to maintain that public trust.
Yes, and how that can happen through the legislature to take the.
We would have to change the Constitution.
Illinois Constitution.
Right, the Illinois Constitution. So how we select judges, yes.
And who can change the Constitution?
Well, the people can. I mean, that you have to have a ballot referendum, and the people would have to vote for it. And
then we can do it. Do you think that it can happen?
I think it can happen.
Yeah.
And it's something, if I'm elected, I'm going to work toward.
I'm going to help you out.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, and maybe we can take all the funds from other.
Help you.
What I see about those elections right now. It's all about the money. Depending how much money you have, this is how many commercials you can, put on radio, on TV, on YouTube, on Facebook, all this.
Right.
And sometimes it seems like it's all about the money, you know, and it's very sad. I understand that people need money to campaign, but it seems like those who have more money mostly will win because they can reach more people, which is not okay according to me.
Right. Well, we definitely have less money than my opponent, but I will tell you this: we have a great organization. A lot of people out walking, knocking on doors, and a lot of people talking to each other. Facebook and all those things.
Yes. And now we're gonna have another one. We have Polish people listening. Justice Michael Berg, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Good
It's been a
luck
pleasure.
on November 8th. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
How old are you going to be? Can I ask?
I'm going to be 64.
64. Beautiful age. Beautiful age. Lots of energy, I see.
Lots of what?
You have lots of energy.
Oh, lots of energy.
Yeah, that's amazing.
For an old guy, right?
No, for old guy. Lots of energy. I can
will
see
tell
how much you're very enthusiastic, energetic, smiley, welcoming,
I will tell you, we just had our 9th grandchild this week. So
congratulations,
yes,
9 grandchild.
Yes.
Amazing, congratulations. Fight for us, fight for your children and grandchildren. We need people who are for law and follow the law and want to care for other people. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Our honor, my honor. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you, sir. Good luck.
Thank you,
God
sir.
bless you.
Appreciate
Thank you. A my w Radio Adams przypominamy Wam o radiotonie, który zaczął się dzisiaj, ale będzie też kontynuowany jutro, we wtorek. Radioton Pomoc w budowie zniszczonego byłego polskiego kościoła na Ukrainie i parafianom, którzy zostali bez domów. Dzwońcie do Radia Adams 773 633 7996 773 633 7996. Ksiądz Grzegorz Jeleń. Konto PNC na donacje to 466 230 6963 466 230 6963, ale więcej informacji możecie uzyskać dzwoniąc właśnie pod numer Radia Adams 773 633 7996. Przypominamy radioton, który cieszy się bardzo dużym zainteresowaniem. Słyszę, że ludzie naprawdę dzwonią dziś przez cały dzień. Jutro też będzie kontynuowany w Radiu Adams na fali 1490 AM. Dzwońcie 773 633 7996. Ja już za chwilę u nas kolejny wyjątkowy gość. zagramy może coś teraz po polsku. Dzisiaj dużo sami politycy, którzy startują w wyborach już 8 listopada. A my zagramy coś, cover Justyny Steczkowskiej w wykonaniu Małgorzaty Kozłowskiej. Wracam do domu.
Wracam do domu od tylu lat, wciąż pokryjomu przed wschodem dnia. Wiem, że czekałeś, aż powiem tak. Wracam do domu ostatni raz. Wszystko, co mam, co dał mi świat, noszę w sobie, by kiedyś ci dać. Choć mówią, że nie mamy szans, ciągle wierzę, że jeszcze jest czas.
And we have another great guest in our studio.
Oh, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, Antonio Timothy. He's a Republican candidate for position on Will County Board in District 11. Is that correct? Am I correct?
You're correct. I am the conservative Republican candidate for District 11, yes.
So we have conservative Republicans and regular Republicans? Tell me.
Yeah, we have regular Republicans, and then we have real Republicans or the conservatives.
So what is the difference? Because maybe I don't know to which group I belong.
Well, you're a conservative.
Oh, I'm conservative Republican?
For example, you value freedom, you value your Constitution.
Uh-huh.
Republicans, regular Republicans, will sell out for whatever. Freedom's not their main objective. They're just Republicans, and they're running as a Republican as a name.
Mm-hmm.
They may as well run as a Democrat, depending on the circumstances, but a conservative would never would. You could never, ever get me to run as a Democrat. Never.
Never.
But a regular Republican, you've seen it. Look at Cheney.
Mm-hmm.
Look what she's doing right now. She's a regular Republican. She's just a Republican running, or got elected as a Republican because that's what was convenient.
Oh, yes. Sometimes it happens, unfortunately, and money talk, right?
Money and power.
Money and power, and depending who you know, right, and who has your back. So tell me, you are running for Will County Board in District 11. What are responsibility as county board member?
Well, the county board, we are the steward. Well, we're the ones that are going to make sure how taxpayers' dollars are allocated. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's certain laws, certain things we have to choose whether a road's going to get fixed or not. But it all breaks down to, okay, we have this much money. Mm-hmm. We have to allocate it. We got to take care of certain things. Mm-hmm. And that's what we do. We decide what that money, what the tax levy gets spent on.
I see. Why did you decide to run then?
I didn't want to run.
You didn't want to run. What happened?
No. What happened was certain people in the county board wanted me to run. If you told me a year ago, hey, you're going to be running for county board, I would have told you you're crazy. But no, if I didn't run, nobody would be running against my opponents. And we're talking about some very woke, leftist, communist, socialist people. And I had to do it.
You had to do it.
I had to do it. I could not allow them to continue being my representatives without somebody challenging them. Nobody would, so I had to do it.
So, as a board member, you're gonna kind of take care of the money of taxpayers. What you don't like, what you see right now in your district?
First, the county board's at a stalemate. No decisions are being made. And the reason why is it's right now controlled by Democrats. I believe they'll count as 14 to 12, Democrat, Republican. But yet they love playing social experiments with the board. Instead of taking care of business, they want to make they want a virtue signal. They want to make social statements. They're not concerned at all about the taxpayer. They're not concerned about the citizens. They're not. The reason why is because they're that comfortable. They think they're never ever going to be. They're going to lose, and they also live in an echo chamber. They don't think they're wrong. They can't even understand how socially, fiscally wrong they are. I mean, my opponent is the type of lady that, when they want to challenge to see who's more socialist, she's the one that told Castro, hold my beer. I mean, really, she's that
Wow.
that far out there.
Okay. So you are all pro freedom and for liberty. How you can fight for it as a board member?
By preventing tax dollars to be wasted.
And it has been wasted
Constantly.
constantly.
I mean, I wish Raj would have made it here tonight. Raj Pipalai, he's running for county treasurer. For example, just an example of what's happening at the county. One of his big things right now, he exposed the VAC board, which is the Assistance Board. They wrote a $500,000 check for some lady to write Facebook posts, and nobody said a thing. And somehow Raj got wind of it, found found out about it, and is exposing it. And that's just one instance. Just one instance.
One thing.
Half
So
a million
dollars.
to give it. And you know what? That lady that got the check shut down shop disappeared. The
she
supervisor
yeah.
that approved the check quit. So what do you do now?
You cannot find them.
Well, yeah, the FBI's involved, but I mean, you justice.
So things like that happen in every almost place, every city, every village, every county.
Things like that happen wherever there's money involved, and there's
Always.
people that do not care.
And you're gonna prevent those things.
I'm gonna try to. Yeah,
You're gonna try
I'm
to.
gonna try to as best
When you're
as I
gonna
can.
win, you're gonna try to protect us and taxpayers and all the things. Tell me what areas belong to District 11. So if you know exactly.
Oh, that's an easy one. It's about 80% of Bolingbrook.
80%
It's
of Bolingbrook.
everything from about Kings Road all the way to 355. It gets weird around the golf course south, and then it goes up to Royce Road. So it's about 80% of Bolingbrook.
Okay. Tell me, do you have any experience that would qualify you for this job? I know you are chairman for.
I'm the chairman for the DuPage Township Republican Org, but that's not experience for that.
But still, there's lots of things involved in that position. I know.
Yeah, but I'm a construction manager. I deal with multi-million-dollar projects. I do projects that in 1 year is more than what the budget for the county is in 10. And it's this simple. When you make a budget, you figure, hey, we're going to buy A, B, C, and D. It's going to cost this much, that much, and that's what you do. It really, I mean, it's a little more, but it is that simple. You have to be able to plan and allocate funds and make sure that they're spent correctly. In business, you can't go back and tell the customer, oh no, I figured wrong. But here, taxpayers, I mean, and that's where I get frustrated sometimes talking to people, but I understand how they have learned to accept that, you know what, whatever I'm taxed, I'm going to pay. And I'm not going to, and it seems to be hard for them to understand, hey, you're being overtaxed. And you know what, just the fact that you're taxed alone should be repulsive to you. Just the fact that people today are like, well, we got to fix the roads. Yeah, but it shouldn't cost you this much to do A, B, C, and D. And you could be more effective. So yeah, that in that sense, I think I have a lot of experience. I have 25 years of experience of dealing with other people's money. And making them money.
Yeah.
I mean, not just spending it, making them money.
So that would qualify you for the job as a Will County Board in District 11.
Also, I've never been afraid of a fight, though. I love confrontation. That's the other thing. I just love confrontation. And yes, righteous indignation, I'm just full of it. And virtue is one thing. I mean, I would love for the left to try to just play their games with me. It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. Yeah, I met you. I talked to you. I know, how strong you are and how conservative you are also. So that's I'm honored that you decided to come over. if I could, I would vote for you. Unfortunately, I am in Romeoville, and I did not see you on my ballot, right?
No, I'm not on your ballot.
No, you are not on my ballot. But, I hope that people who live in that district will vote for you. Is there anything you would like to say to our listeners?
Yeah. I've been knocking on doors for months. Believe me, I've been talking to all you guys. I get people are scared. So, a lot of people are scared. They're out there. They don't understand what's happening. A lot of people are hurting. And I just want them to know that there are people out there. You're listening to a couple people here tonight that really care, and we're really trying to work hard to make things change. And we really hope we come through and our hard work pays off, and we can make your life at least a little bit better, or a lot, but hopefully we can make that change. That's what I want people to know, that keep some hope that yes, there's people that care. We're working. We need your help. We need people out there to, when you see us, believe me, we're going to stand up for you. Don't be afraid. I get a lot of people don't like it. Believe me, I'll be the first guy, but we appreciate it when people are willing to listen, show up. Just show up.
Yes.
If you see something, a conservative, a Republican in your neighborhood, show up, because they'll appreciate that. They'll understand that at least there's people out there that care enough for what that person's trying to do.
Yes. Yeah. Like I said, if I could, I would vote for you. I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed.
I'll send you a mail-in ballot.
And that way we can do it, right? So thank you so much for coming.
No, thank you.
Good luck in 2 weeks. 2 weeks?
Yeah.
2 weeks, it's coming. Knock those doors, and, try to win for us. I hope that we're going to have that red wave in upcoming elections.
Let's hope. There's a lot of good people out there
that they need our support. So, guys, you have to go and vote, and please vote red if possible in upcoming elections. If you did not like what happened for past 2.5 years, if you don't like, things that happen in your district,
right,
where the money, the check for $500,000 was sent, and nothing can be done at that, and things like that happen. So please go out and vote.
Can I make one more point?
Yes.
And for people out there, you had 3 great judges or candidates for judges. If they have any questions regarding their ballots, reach out to their local Republican Party, whatever township you live in, whatever city. Find out who you're voting for, especially when you're dealing with judges.
Yes.
Because you do have, again, today you heard 3, great individuals, and you would not know it unless you heard them here today. You show up, look at a ballot, you have
Yes.
no idea but so reach out to them. Don't be afraid to. It'll help you make the right decision.
Yes. Okay. So you can reach out to the Republican Party, or if you're Polish, you can just reach me.
There you go.
Thank you, Antonio. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank
it
you.
was very good to have
Yes,
you
it
here.
was
Thank you
great.
for coming, and good luck in 2 weeks.
Thank you, sir. Good luck.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA. Well, there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand
Przypominamy po raz kolejny o naszym radiotonie, który zaczął się dzisiaj w poniedziałek, ale będzie kontynuowany już również jutro. Pomoc w budowie zniszczonego byłego polskiego kościoła na Ukrainie i parafianom. Pomoc właśnie parafianom, którzy zostali bez domów. Dzwońcie do Radia Adams 773 633 7996 773 633 7996. Ksiądz Grzegorz Jeleń, a numer konta PNC, na który możecie wysyłać donacje 466 230 6963 466 230 6963, ale najlepiej chyba będzie, jak zadzwonicie do Radia Adams i tutaj możecie dowiedzieć się więcej szczegółów. 773 633 7996, kierunkowy 773 633 7996. Back after a short break with another great guest.
Yes, we have Diane Harris, Republican candidate for State Senate in District 43. Diane, thank you so much for coming. You don't have t-shirts, but you brought to us your yard sign, which I still have in my garage. I'm planning to post your yard signs at the poll places the night before the election. That's our plan. Thank you so much for coming. I met you already a few times. We walked together in the parade in Romeoville.
Right.
So I'm glad you came. Thank you so much for coming. Tell us few words about yourself. Few words. Who you are, what is your job right now, and why did you decide to run in upcoming elections?
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you, Paulinas, for inviting me and having me here today. I'm so happy to be on your station.
Thank you so much.
But again, I am Diane Harris, and I was I'm a resident of Joliet. Been in Joliet a long time, and I have 3 children, adult children, and I am a library trustee, Joliet Public Library trustee. And also I'm the vice chairman for the Joliet Township Republican Organization.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And I'm a small business owner. Have a ladies' boutique downtown Joliet. It's 1 block south of the Rialto, and it's called It Is Amazing.
It is amazing.
That's what I do during the day when I'm not campaigning.
You're not campaigning. And I have seen you campaigning a lot. Tell me, why did you decide to run? What made you to make that decision to run in upcoming elections?
Well, I have run for 4 other seats, so this is not my first time.
Okay.
I believe in the conservative voice, and I don't think it's getting out there. The Democrats are taking over. They're not listening, and we need a strong voice in Springfield, actually in government.
Yes.
And so back in, can't remember the year, but it was during the time Common Core came into play. And at the time, my kids were a little younger, and they were affected by it. And I said, this is ridiculous. It was, government taking over the schools, dumbing down our students, our children. And I said, if we don't do anything about it, then who will? So that was maybe the second time I ran. The first time was because I was familiar with my community, and I felt I need to take a stand. So the main focus was the Common Core.
Yeah.
And from that point on, it just started to escalate. There was always something that the government was trying to do. Like, stop it, leave us alone, and it's like, well, I gotta say something, and now was a perfect time.
Yeah, you know what I say to my friends or Polish listener always? Even if one senator or House representative will not change the word for us, at least he or she can oppose certain things. What is that?
Oh my goodness, that's my cell phone. I forgot to turn it off.
That's okay.
It's almost like church. You know when you walk in
And that's
somewhere,
okay.
you're
We
supposed
like
to turn-
church. Okay, I'm sorry.
supposed to turn it.
Sorry. That's okay. It happens.
There we go. There
it
we
happens.
go.
I
There
just
we
did
go.
not know it's something on the radio
Sorry
or
about
Simon's fault.
Sorry.
That's okay.
So
No
I
problem.
so I always say, even if you cannot change the word as a senator or House representative, at least you can oppose certain bills that Democrats are coming up with.
Oh, for
right?
sure.
So
sure.
I always say, let's give it a try another side. So I'm talking about Republicans. So tell me, what are your plans for us when you're gonna win? Do you have any plan? Or do you want to focus on something or no?
Oh, well, my main goal right now is that Safety Act, because that bill was pushed through in the late of the night.
Yeah,
that kind of
within
thing to
few
push
hours,
through,
few days, yes.
And running for Senate, that it's going to come there. We want to repeal. It has to go. It's not safe for the residents. It's not safe for Illinois, nor if it ties the hands. I should say handcuffs the police, handcuffs the prosecutors and the judges, and it isn't designed for what it was supposed to do.
Certain parts are good.
Certain parts are
But
good.
there are some things that gonna be a public safety threat.
And I think that because we've had so many issues over the years that has come up with our freedom being taken away in terms of our families, our children, we have to put a stop to that. And the main thing that's going on now is, the indoctrination of our children.
Yeah.
Anyone who has young children these days, we do need to pray for them, because there's a real big issue out there. There's an issue where government, they have their hands in our pocketbook, and they have our hands on our children, and taking away the rights of the parents to make decisions. I mean, these are our children. We need to be making the decisions that's best for them. And right now, it's in the government's hands, and we need to do something. And that's one of the main. Those two issues are so strong, and
Yes.
and that's kind of where I want to start.
So I think that many parents woke up during those 2.5 years of COVID-19.
Yes.
Many of us did not pay attention to what is happening in schools until COVID hit.
Right. Right.
You can say that I'm one of those parents. I was always, doing something to try to, be conservative, but I didn't pay too much attention to schools and what they are teaching, before they close our schools and make our children to wear a mask and make some students, unvaccinated students, to test in order to take participation in after school activities. So now I am watching what is happening in schools with all those agendas they are pushing through.
Right.
I also want. Okay.
I'm sorry. I don't want to take over the conversation, but when you mention about the schools, And when you think in terms of what the kids are learning, their focus is not what it should be. The kids these days, 64% of them are they're reading under grade level, and these statistics were taken pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID.
So if it were that bad before, you could only imagine what's
Right
going
now.
to take place right now, and we need to do something about that.
We need to do, and I
Right,
believe
right.
you, and I support you because I'm on the same side you are. When I was going through your website, I also saw what you posted there. I will be voting no on Amendment 1. Can you tell us why you are against Amendment 1? I know you are pro people who works for union, but what are dangerous sides of Amendment 1?
Well, first of all, when you say workers' rights, of course, everyone wants the right to be treated fairly on a job. They want good paying wages and benefits. But we have unions. They're already established. All of these same, what do they call them? All these same characteristics that are being requested are already there. What we're dealing with now is another redundant bureaucracy that's going to cost the taxpayers.
Money, yeah.
And that's what we have to get away from.
Yes.
I say vote no to Amendment 1 because it's going to cost us. We're creating something we already have. The Department of Labor already protects the rights of workers.
Yes.
And it's just another, I think, tax
Yeah. Waste.
waste.
Yes.
Tax bin.
Yes, of course, and we hate that. We see them going up all the time. I will vote for you because you are in my district.
Well, wonderful.
I will
Wonderful.
post your yard signs at the poll places the night before the election. We did that with Camille last time. I have met you. I have spoken to you a few times. Thank you so much for coming. A long way from Joliet area.
Well, it's definitely worth being here with you for sure. I'm
Yes.
so glad that you asked. And
Yeah,
I'm glad that I was able to make it
Yes,
tonight.
thank you so much that you could come over. I'm honored to have you on Radio Adams. Good luck in 2 weeks. You have my vote, and I'm telling you that Polish people in Will County and in your district
Right.
will vote for you because it's District 43. Diane Harris. I'm gonna show it again because just in case, Diane Harris,
That's it.
State Senate, 43rd District in Will County. So people who are in Will County. Diane, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Paulina, for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
He'll be here at 11:30 or noon. He's just riding around the block. Make sure that he's.
I'll be the rock you can build on. Be there when you're old, to have and to hold. When there's love inside, I swear I'll always be strong. Then there's a reason why I'll prove to you we belong. I'll be the wall that protects you.
And we have another great guest. I know I say that all the time, but we do have great guests today.
Yeah, we have. I'm sorry, I have to close the door. Yes, we have another. Last but not least, right? Glenda Wright McComb. Thank you so much for coming. I have met you 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
We had a great conversation. I was amazed by your, character, the way you were speaking, what you were fighting for, what you stand for. So thank you so much for coming.
It's such a privilege to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. I'm really glad that you could come over. So you are a Republican candidate for Will County Board District 7.
Yes.
Yes, and we had Antonio today, who is also, a candidate for Will County Board member in different district.
Yes.
Can you tell me what are your plans when you're gonna be elected?
My plans are, and the reason that I'm running for the seat is because I am a lifelong resident of the Joliet-Will County area. And I'm seeing all of the changes that have taken place, the negative things that are happening, the things that are happening in our school system with the indoctrination of our children, the gender identity thing that they're pushing on our kids, sex education that they're teaching these kindergarten kids. One of the other things is Will County is the third largest county in Illinois. We have the highest tax rate. So I'm going to be fighting and advocating to lower our taxes. As I went and knocking door to door, talking to individuals, that was one of the major things that's on their list, on their priority. Another major thing is the safety. Individuals don't feel safe, and with this Safety Act that's coming out in January, people don't really understand a whole lot of what it's about, but one of the things that I'm noticing is that people are fearful, because they really don't know what this is all going to entail. Are they going to be allowing criminals out of jail on the streets? Where's our safety going to be? So those are some of the major things that I'm looking to advocate for once I take the seat.
Yeah, and I hope you will win. Tell me, what was the worst thing you have seen within past 2.5 years that made you really sad or mad or disappointed? I'm talking about COVID-19 era.
Yes. Going back to the schools, because a lot of these kids, they fell behind. They had to do school online, remote learning, and they weren't learning. And so we do a homeschool, Excel homeschool program. We do grades K through 6. And we had some of these kids come in who were below and beyond grade level. Some of them were 2 grades behind. By the end of the school year last year, those kids had come all the way up to grade level. I'm finding that many of the kids that are in the public school system, they're graduating them, they're passing them on, and they're not able to read, they're not able to write, and they're teaching them everything except what they need to learn. And so that was one of the major things that came across through COVID. Separation of families, people who couldn't even come together with their families because of the narrative that was going on, that
they implemented
COVID.
Fear in people's hearts and heads, and many people are scared till this time.
Yes.
So what is your profession right now? Where do you work?
I have been in ministry, full-time ministry, for over 30 years. I've worked in the community. I've established 3 501c3 organizations that help underprivileged children. I have pastored a church for, about 20 years, and then I just recently we merged our ministries together, and so now we're doing a powerful work in Joliet at Antioch Christian Assembly Church.
Oh my goodness, that's
so
amazing!
I'm one of the co-leaders there.
Oh,
yeah.
Where is the church? What kind of church is it?
We're non-denominational. We just lovers of Jesus.
Yes,
and we're located at 1110 Curtis Avenue in Joliet. Yes.
Yeah, that's amazing. When I was speaking to you and talking to you, 2 weeks ago almost, I could see how much love and patience you have,
Yes.
and, we were talking about the God and everything that, takes us away from the God.
Yes.
Do you think there's any room in politics for God?
There must be. If there's not, I think that's the reason why we are in the condition that we're in right now, because we've taken God out of schools. We've taken prayer out of schools. We've taken God out of the governmental realm. And you know, the funny thing about it is you go to the board meetings, you go to the council meetings, and they open up with prayer. But yet you don't follow the guidelines of the prayer that's being prayed, you know. And so there is an awareness of a need to have God in these areas of government, but to follow the standards and the procedures that are written in the Word of God, that the standards that give us what we are to live for life.
Yes.
And so a lot of that is missing. So I believe that as we bring that back, and that's one of the things that I'm going to bring back. I want to advocate for the people. My heart strong for the people. I love my city. I love Joliet. I love the county. Most of my siblings grew up and moved away. I couldn't go anywhere. I've been there all my life. And so this is where my assignment is, and this is where I'm going to work.
Yeah, I work in Joliet area. I work in Joliet. You know, I'm a home health nurse, traveling
Okay.
from patient to patient. So I'm very familiar with many areas. You know, Joliet is beautiful and can be even better. I'm talking about that riverside. I think that
Okay.
it could be another Naperville if we
Sure.
could invest
Yes.
into it.
Yes.
But let's hope that you will win in upcoming elections. It's coming in
Yes.
2 weeks.
Okay.
I will keep my finger crossed. You are not on my ballot, unfortunately, because
Right.
I'm from Romeoville.
Yeah.
But I wish you good luck.
Well, thank you
is
so
there
much.
Is there anything you would like to tell our listeners?
And for those of you that are listening, some of you may be in my district, some may not be. So my district is the west side of Joliet, and I go over into Plainfield, up to Drawden Road. And so those are the individuals that would be on my ballot. And I want to say, if you're tired of seeing what you've been seeing, if you're tired of the fact of going to the grocery store and not able to buy what you need to buy because of limited funds, because of the prices being so high, if you're tired of paying almost $5 a gallon at the pump, it's time for change. I believe there's a changing of the guard. And I believe that there is a change that is coming, and it's individuals like myself who have decided that we're not just going to talk about it, we're going to do something about it.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why we're running.
And I hope you will win, and all our other candidates who came here today also will win, and all other Republican
Yes.
candidate will win. I'm waiting for the red wave.
Okay.
I'm praying for the red wave.
Yes, absolutely.
Everything happens for the reason. I hope we will win. You
Yes.
will win, and we need to take a stand for our
Yes.
children, because it's all about our children. And
That's
you have
it.
been saying that
That's
for
it.
past so many years that we need to fight for them, because
Yes.
future belongs to them, not to us anymore.
Yes.
So we have to take that
Yes.
stand.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
Thank
coming.
you. Thank you for
I'm glad
having
you could
me.
make it. Yes.
And well, I wanted just to add something, because you mentioned about God, and in Poland we have a saying where if you put God on the first place, other things are on the right place.
Okay.
So if you
That's
put
so
God on the
accurate.
first place, as we would love to, and we trying to do that, the other things will be at the right place.
That is so accurate. Putting him first.
Exactly.
The scripture says, when the righteous rule, the people rejoice. But when the wicked rule, the people mourn. We have been mourning for way too long. It's time for the righteous to begin to rule.
Yes. And we hope that it's going to happen.
And before here, we said something about being equal, which is very nice. We're all equal. But when I was reading a scripture, and I read that when St. Paul said, we all one in Christ. So this is amazing. Being one is definitely something different, but just not only being equal, but we are, because you mentioned about loving Jesus.
Yes.
So we love Jesus here too.
Okay.
And one, we are all one, sister, brothers.
Yes.
We all one in
Absolutely.
Christ. That's
Absolutely.
amazing. Being equal.
we, this is what we say, but also it's what we should see, and we don't see that anymore. We have been divided.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Somebody wants to,
Somebody wants
Yes.
so many divisions between us.
Exactly.
Yes. Thank you so much again for coming.
Thank you.
Good
Thank you.
luck in
Thank
2
you
weeks.
so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Good luck. Thank you.
What is your profession right now? You are a lawyer with many years of experience, right?
That's correct. I am a trial attorney and a partner at the Tomzak Law Group, as I said. I represent people who have suffered tragic accidents, people who are engaged in civil contract disputes, need orders of protection in order to keep their families safe from the tremendous
Boda.
Today is a Polski. Witamy Was bardzo serdecznie i w tym momencie przejdziemy na język angielski. We welcome. Witamy Was bardzo serdecznie i witamy Was bardzo serdecznie i w tym momencie przejdziemy na język angielski. We welcome everyone here at 1490 AM.